Good afternoon, and welcome to our video presentation. We are New Discoveries Group Incorporated, and we are here to present your consultation of Safety and Risk Management, a program for better training. Our consultants are Afua Danes, Jenny Guerrero, Lucas Mellon, and Amal Trabulsi. We understand that your goal is to be the world's safest logging production facility, and that you have requested proposals from many different companies, and we are here to demonstrate why our proposal should be selected. We would like to begin with our company overview. We are an instructional design and performance technology firm that was founded in 1983. We'd like to begin with targeting our audience and/or our companies that we would like to work with. Realizing that there is a problem at hand, there is also a solution. We also like to begin with understanding the problem that the company has been forthcoming with, and we like to project our objectives for the leadership involved in that company. We begin with outlining the steps that we need in order to investigate solutions. And so then we create these solutions and projections. We then like to facilitate these solutions, and then we like to review. The reviewing stage is far more important than perhaps the three that were listed prior, as this is the opportunity to be able to tweak and fix anything that has been an issue. And we also like to project a timeline. Many different companies, as we understand, have 1 year, 2 year, 3 year revamping, and we like to accommodate and provide the best care that we can for your timeline. We would like to continue and highlight the understanding that we do have for your type of facility. And so we do understand again that your goal is to be the world's safest logging production facility. And we want you to understand just how dangerous this job is. And so please consider the information that we are providing below in order for you to choose your next safety consulting firm, and also how quickly you decide in that turnaround. Most recently, there have been just shy of 2,500 injuries that have resulted from logging. Subsequently, there have been 135.9 fatal injuries per 100,000 logging employees. Um, a job in the logging industry is 39 times more dangerous than the average US job. And recently in 2015, there have been 67 fatal logging incidents that resulted in the death of an employee. And so we truly understand the importance of having a safe company and a company that puts their employees first.
Now that we know some of the dangers of the field, we want to now talk about and how we want to work moving forward in understanding the problem. Anytime that you're dealing with issues and employee concerns, specifically about accidents, it can be a very sensitive topic. And so, one of the things we want to make sure that we cover in our training and our services is really that focus and moving forward and also reflection. And so obviously, anytime there's a back injury or safe lifting, we want to make sure we cover that. It's one of those things that is one of the top things that employees have in your field. And so we want to make sure we cover that. We also want to make sure that emergency planning is in place. Whether you are a supervisor, employee, we want to make sure the best steps are taken to make sure people are ready to address it. Another thing that is extremely important in your area is the eye safety and fall protection. Those are things that can have your top employees out for weeks, for months. And so we want to make sure we train you all effectively on that, but also to have an eye out for how you can make sure you have improvements, make sure you enforce, and also make sure you have some really good coaching conversations along the way. And at the end, if there is any things that happen, accidents do happen. That's why they're called an accident. But we want to make sure we investigate it and we review any footage to make sure that moving forward, the supervisors, the people who implement new policies understand what's out there so that all of these things can be addressed in a way that makes it more effective moving forward. We want to make sure that we cover all of our bases. And so we have a number of optional training types for you and your teams to decide on what works best for every environment. The first one that's so important is new employment. Initial onboarding of new people is one of the ways you can set a strong foundation for success and good decision making moving forward. Another one is returning employee training. Obviously, people have been new, and there's probably been a lot of different kinds of onboarding training that you've done in the past. But once people get out in the field, they do things, it's different. They get trained differently by their peers. And sometimes that training is incorrect. And so ensuring there's ongoing improvement initiatives in place is so important. And that also ties into our third one, the continued refresher training. So when people are, on a rolling basis, on an annual basis, you want to make sure that there's some refreshers along the way to ensure that the safety of your people is the highest priority. And the last one that we want to focus on is the new findings training sessions. So as we discover, man, we missed that, or my goodness, it would be nice to have, we can cover and build a training for that. So this way your people have the newest and most recent information to make good decisions. We recognize that there's a lot of different ways that people absorb information. And so that's why in all of our different training types that we discussed, we want to make sure that there's something or some way people can retain that information. And that is why in our training that we're developing for you, we're going to use videos. There's so many people that can, once they see it, it'll click. We also are going to have large group discussions because there's a richness in bringing people together and having those big conversations. We're also going to encourage job site coaching. So when people are actually out in the field, supervisors and peers are able and trained to have conversations that are needed to have to make sure everybody's safe and doing what needs to be done. And we'll also have workshops to make sure that we improve safety performance with all of these different groups.
We will use the Agile Learning Design, ALD, for the instructional design analysis. ALD is well known for its easy adaptability, learning flexibility, collaboration, feedback, and team. This does not only speed up e-learning course development time, but it also makes the finished e-learning deliverables more successful. Agile stands for align, get set, iterate, and implement, leverage, and evaluate. We will use the following steps in Agile for every training course segment of the e-learning content material. First, new discoveries group instructional designer meet with the upper middle management, e-learning content creators, and employees to discuss current training materials that Walleridge uses and to brainstorm and formulate a plan to move forward with the training material development. Second, after everyone listed above agree to the core e-learning content of the e-learning course, then we will start designing the first segment of the e-learning content to be discussed in more details. Third, we will then develop the segments that was agreed upon in more details. Then another meeting will take place after that to address any modifications or any additions needed to be added to that training segment before we move forward to create and develop the next segment of the e-learning content. The above process will be repeated again for each section.
The new Discoveries Group has designated a time frame of up to 1 year to complete this program, and there'll be 4 to 6 different phases of it from start to finish. Within that time, prior to actually commencing the program, we, the group, the new Discoveries Group, will be also implementing, observing the employees to ensure that we create the best program for the company and from start to finish.
Okay, now one of the most important discussions is the budget. We know that investing in your team, in your employees, and in your supervisors is so important. And we want to make sure you get the biggest bang for your buck. And so right now we're projecting that this entire process will cost around $95,000. You can choose from all your different employees, and then averaging out the 50 employees you send, we're looking at about a $60,000 cost. In addition, there's going to be materials and laptops and all the necessities that you'll need to make sure that we're successful. And that's another $25,000. And those are items that you get to keep. So it's a one-time cost that will be really great for your investment in your employees. We also want to bring in some outside perspectives. We know sometimes if they hear from the top often, it can be tone deaf after a while. And so bringing some outside people who know this stuff is really important. And so being able to bring some of those individuals will be around $10,000. And that's their cost, their stay, their meals, and all that stuff. Obviously, we're flexible. The final budget number can be adjusted with the staff once the numbers are projected. Do you want higher? Do you want lower? We can work with you. And so it's really just one of those things you just let us know.
Now, with this training will also come modules that mandatory modules that you will have to complete, a 10-hour module that they will be able to complete in increments. So it's not sitting there for 10 hours to complete this online training. This will be in increments that are mandatory at a certain time, but some of it will be the possibility of completing at work, and you'll be able to do that, or if you're not able to finish, you'll be able to complete it at home, so that within a time frame. This will incorporate all of the things that they have learned on site, in class, and bring it all together to internalize. And the important whole message is that they understand the procedures and policies that have been laid out in the training. To finish, Woolwich will be able to use a system-wide approach to promote quality, care, and safety for all their staff. With correct leadership and supervisors implementing the safety management systems outlined within a stipulated time frame, this will lead to success as the training is incorporated into the organization. Thank you.